It's me again. We're going to be doing an unboxing, proper unboxing here, of the Nivar, my first Vulcan ship. Okay, so, why did I buy this one? Well, first of all, I like Vulcans. Second of all, I really like this ship design, being the, as you could describe it, football in a donut shape. Because, a long time ago, as in like maybe a decade or two ago, we thought that, no, maybe longer than that, but people actually trying to figure out whether warp drive could work calculated that you would need to, it would require the amount of energy that was the equivalent to the matter in the sun in order to fly from our solar system to the nearest star. Like, warp, the calculations were theoretically possible, but it would require the same amount of energy that the star possesses in order to fly. Someone managed to rework it and found out that if you build a spaceship that looks like this, in rough shape, being like a football shape inside a little ring, you could travel the distance only costing the same amount of energy that is in Earth itself. Like, if you were to convert all of Earth into energy, all the matter into energy, then you could travel to the nearest star system using a ship that looks like this. So I like that Star Trek actually took that, because Star Trek, I think, came up with warp. But they took that and they said, okay, we're going to actually make a spaceship that follows the modern understanding of warp drive. So, that is what sort of was the inspiration behind the Vulcan ships in their designs, how they all have rings. So let's take a quick look at the back here. Is it going to focus? My camera doesn't do that autofocus. It's an older camera. Anyway, expand and upgrade your Star Trek attack wing game. The Nivar is a Surak-class starship. The Surak class is a Vulcan science vessel and combat cruiser. It has a cylindrical hull with a circular nacelle that allows it to reach speeds of warp 6.5 and greater. Under the command of Captain Sopik, the Nivar was sent to retrieve T'Pol from her involvement in the destruction of the monastery at Pajem. Ugh. That episode. Not that specific one, but the destruction of Pajem and the fallout after it ticked me off, because it's all like, you destroyed a monastery! But it wasn't a monastery. Like, it was a cover-up, and they proved it was a cover-up, but the Vulcans kept overlooking the fact that their monastery was secretly a base, and that they were breaking treaties in order to do that. Anyway, after learning that she and Captain Jonathan Archer of the Enterprise NX-01 were captured by Andorians, the Sopik led a commando raid to help rescue the two prisoners. So this is supposed to contain 18 cards, 26 tokens, 1 maneuver vial, 1 painted plastic ship, and a base with pegs. Nice. So let's... Actually, I'm going to show you how I open these. Because some people just tear them apart and it breaks things, so... Look at that. There's your inventory. Nivar, Surak, painted plastic base, 2 plastic pegs, ship token maneuver dial, 5 action tokens. They're called action tokens? Huh. Evade, scan, battle stations, red target lock, blue target lock, 3 shield tokens, critical hit token. I never use critical hit tokens. I think I sometimes use them for like missions or whatever, but I don't use them in play. Auxiliary power token, disable upgrade token, captain ID tokens, or as I like to call them, tombstones. Admiral token, again I don't usually use those, I just take the action. Fleet action token, again, don't really use those. 4 effect tokens, find them annoying because they're often not labeled properly. And all you need is a few that aren't labeled properly and everything gets confusing. 2 ship cards, 1 maneuver card, 3 captain cards, 1 admiral card, 7 upgrade cards, 2 mission cards, and 2 additional rule cards. So before we get into... Actually, which should we do first? Cards or the ship? I feel like I should do the ship, because I feel like if I do the cards, I'm going to get really into it, and I'm going to forget to actually do the ship. So let's take a look at this beautiful ship. So, this is from Wave 7. That was pretty early on, right? Oh no! The lighting in my room sucks, so I just have my phone here. So, Scout 608, Nivar, and Enterprise X01. Oh, look at that. It is what? Oh, look at that blue. Sorry, I'm not looking at what. I'm just going to put it on the peg so I can show you it better. This is a lot more detail than I thought it would have, actually. Okay, let's get it up. Look at that blue. It's super blurry. Let me move. I don't know if you can see it very well. You can see the color, it's just not in focus very well. But there's a beautiful blue ring in there. Beautiful blue ring. Okay, so I think what I'll have to do is put a picture on the screen of the ship, because you're not going to be able to really see this that well. So, detail-wise, a lot more detail than I thought it would, both physically and paint-wise. Although the physical detail is offset. You know how there's a mold line running through it? Well, this half of the ship's details are slightly lower than that half of the ship's details. Coloration is good. Dark brown with light brown and black. The black doesn't look too... Actually, it's more of a super dark brown than a black, like a muddy brown. But it's a lot better than I thought it would be. Let's just set you on there then. Alright, I'm not really going to go through the cardboard because anyone who really collects these knows what to expect. So their colored plates are gray, which is interesting. I like that they got gray as their color. Since they're a sub-faction of Federation, it would be probably better if it was like a shade of blue, but they weren't the sub-faction of Federation when they created this upgrade. So gray is pretty cool. I'll go with gray. Normally it's cool to do this in like a special order, but since this is an unboxing, not a super duper fancy thing, let's just do it in the order the cards come. How about that? That'll be interesting. Oh wait, here's an idea. Here's an idea. Stack them like this. Oh yeah. You can't read anything on there, can you? Photonic weapon. Attack. Target lock. Spend your target lock to disable this card to perform this attack. Range 1 to 3. 4 dice. You may reroll one of your blank results. You may fire this weapon from your forward or rear arcs. Okay, so this seems fairly similar to plasma torpedoes. Let me just do a quick Utopia search just to compare. Utopia set fleet builder. Thank you, Crazy Vulcan. So there is a 4 dice plasma torpedoes for 3 points. Same cost, range 1 to 2 as opposed to 2 to 3, but you get to reroll all your blank results as opposed to this one, which is just reroll 1. So these are not as good as plasma torpedoes. So maybe it should have been a 2-point upgrade instead of a 3-point. But it is the Enterprise era, so, you know. But yeah, I think it probably should have been a bit cheaper. Okay, tractor beam. There are many tractor beam upgrades in this game. I'm glad to see that we've got one for the Vulcans that is a non-unique. Tractor beam. If you are attacked at range 1 during the modify the attack dice step of the combat phase, you may disable this card to force the attacking ship to reroll one of its attack dice of your choice. I was about to say this is pretty bad because it's, you know, just reroll 1 dice, one of the attacker's dice. That being said, it's a 1-point tech. So, first of all, Reroll 1 enemy dice for 1 SP. That's fine by me. You know, it's a 1-point card. And it's a disable. It's a 1-point disable. So that's actually good. I would have been okay if this was a 1-point discard, because 1-point cards tend to not be that too fantastic. This is a 1-point discard, so this is a good 1-point card. It's not great. I mean, but it's a 1-point card, so as far as 1-point cards go, I'd say that it's an okay one. Scale of 1 to 7, I would grade this at a 3, no, at a 4. Good, and I would play it. Not really for the card's ability, but as an okay 1-point, like, it's an okay 1-point tech upgrade, but I would definitely play it, so I'm going to give it a 4 instead of a 2. And that is because there are a lot of cards in the game which say disable another tech in order to do this ability, or discard another tech in order to gain attack dice. This would be the tech that I bring along to trigger the discard tech for 2 attack dice, like Admiral John Locke from the Pegasus. He lets you discard tech upgrades for more dice. And I forgot to rank this. I would rank this at an... Just because plasma torpedoes aren't even that good of a weapon, and this thing's a little worse than that, I would rank this at a 1. This is a bad card. This is a good card, and I would play it because of the fact that I never have cheap tech to discard. So this is cheap tech to discard. Otherwise, this would just be a 2. Alright, Faction Vulcan. This is more or less moot because the rules have changed. We don't use this initiative anymore. We use this fancy trade-off initiative where it's like, pick one player, that player now has initiative, and then every other turn you switch the initiative. I don't like that initiative rule. In my games, we play with usually a custom initiative, which is if 2 ships tie, you pick the ship that has the lowest SP cost overall, like all of its upgrades totaled. So, whatever. Combat Vessel Variant. 5-point tech. I don't even need to read the text. I know a few things about this card, and I can tell you I'm probably going to always play with this card. Combat Vessel Variant. Your primary weapon and hull values are increased by +1. So right now, that means this card is worth 4 points, just by that. In addition, add 1 weapon upgrade to your bar. Throw on another point for that. 1 or 2 points for that tech slot. That's cool. I mean, weapon slot, because it's easy to get tech slots. It's not easy to get weapon slots in this game. So, for the weapon slot, that would make this card worth like 6 points. This card's worth 5. It's already paid for itself, in my eyes. This upgrade may only be purchased for a Surak-class ship. You cannot deploy more than 1 combat. Okay, so that's the downside. It only works on this ship. But I like it, because then you could say, oh, well, now it's not worth as much as 6 points. Well, it isn't. It's 5 points. Yay! Great card. I'll use it, so that's a 7 out of 7. Additional rules. Admiral cards. So we got a generic here. I actually like generic captains. I like being able to put a captain on the table, because it's a reminder of the SP, not the SP, it's a reminder of the skill, and he fell, he's dead, red shirt, bye. I like these guys. So you know what? Out of ranking 1 out of 7, this card, that's free, with no text, gets a 4. It's a good card and I'd use it. Decisive action. Ooh, here we go. Action. If you attack an enemy ship this round, whose captain has a lower skill number than yours, during the roll attack dice step of the combat phase, you may discard this card and choose 2 of your attack dice and place them both on their hit results. These dice cannot be rolled or re-rolled this round. 5 SP for a 1 use 2 hit card. And they can still cancel them if they roll well. Or have... okay. Let's put this in perspective. If I was given a 5 dice discard... Like, I've seen cards which are like, discard this card to inflict 1 hit, or discard this card to inflict 1 critical, and they're pretty pricey. Like, I'm just going to quickly look up the O'Brien from the Robinson ship. Yeah, here we go. He was 5 points. Action: if your ship is not cloaked, disable all of your remaining shields. Okay, so he came with a bunch of restrictions. If your ship is not cloaked, disable all your remaining shields, and target a ship at range 1 to 2 that is not cloaked, and has not active shields, discard this to inflict 1 damage to the ship's hull. So, he's a 5-point card. He has the annoying, not cloaked, disable all your shields stuff. At least it doesn't apply to your enemy, it just applies to you. Has a range of 1 to 2. You can do it. The pro is you can do it outside of combat phase. No wait, he still has the restrictions of the ship that you're targeting can't be cloaked. Okay, so he's got all those annoying cloak shield restrictions that you always despise. Discard the card to inflict 1 damage, and he's 5 points. Miles O'Brien. Con. Restrictive. Pro. Unrestrictive. Con, 1 dice. Pro, 2 dice. Equal discard, equal discard. Equal action, equal action. Pro for him. You can do it outside of the combat phase. Con for this, it has to be in the con. I would say they're of equal merit, these cards, because this is 1 extra damage, but they can cancel both of them, potentially. So at the end of the day, is it worth it? Well, it's a 5-point discard, and it's for only 2 damage. And it's a maybe 2 damage. I'm going to put this as a 2 on a scale of 1 to 7. It's an okay card. I would probably only use this card if I was running Vulcan Pure, which I probably will a few times, and the problem, or Vulcan Ship Pure, because the problem with me, I only have 1 Vulcan ship. So, yeah, I'm probably going to use this elite talent, because I only have, like, this 1 expansion for them. But, and from what I recall, Vulcans don't have many good elite talents. Yeah. At least until they get that pack, which may never come out, but, you know, who knows. Decisive action. Yeah, you're a 2. I would run you. I am planning on running a build sometime soon, which is based around cards that inflict damage. Not like modify your dice rolls, or just cards that can inflict damage. Maybe modify your dice rolls, but guaranteed damage sort of cards. I might use it in that build. Okay, the ship. I feel like I can't talk about the ship without talking about the named version and the maneuvers, so let's just skip through here to find those. Here. Most people talk with the name. Let's talk with the generic first. Change things up a bit. The generic has the standard Fed action bar. That's pretty cool. It has battle stations. That's nice. That's good for defense, good for offense. 18 points. That, for a 4-2, well, for a 2-1, 4-2, for 18 points, not too bad. I'm going to say not too bad. I would have even thought that this may have been discounted. But it is 18 points. Maybe if it was 16 points, I could see this being discounted. But yeah, so comes with a tech and a crew. Probably what you should expect. Combat vessel variant would give you plus weapon, so that's nice. You got not as much shields as you would expect for a science vessel, but this is a combat science vessel, so it's got plenty of hull. It's a capital ship, which I like. I was worried that it would not be a capital ship, because things like, what is it? I think the Nova class, one of my favorite ships in the game, and the Oberth, one of my favorite ships in the game, aren't capital ships because they have 3 hull. This guy's got 4 hull. 1 defense. Probably would have liked a 2 defense, but then again, this doesn't strike me as a maneuverable craft, really. Even though it's not that big of a ship. Alright, so you've got, ones are green. Well, this is our standard dial that we've all come to either know and love or know and feel meh about. It's pretty average. 1 reverse. That's okay. Actually, recently I used a 2 reverse in a game, and I used it and I won the game because of the 2 reverse. I almost never use reverse moves. I've got to reassess my views on reverse moves. 3s are red, but it has 2 whites, so those are okay. 4 speed, that's cool. There's lots of abilities. Well, there's some cards that can boost your speed up. So this is your average dial, more or less. Alright, Navarre. 2143, that's a bit better. 20 points, so it's 2 points more. And you get a crew slot. I would have thought you would get 2 techs in a crew. I don't really see Vulcans as a crew-heavy faction. Well, I guess we're going to find out. Thought that would be more of a tech faction. Whenever you attack an enemy ship at range 3 of your primary weapon, if there is a scan token beside your ship, you gain +1 attack dice for this attack. Oh, it's not for the attack round, it's for the attack. I mean, that's okay, you usually only attack once. This seems like a Vulcan ability. I feel like Vulcans are going to definitely have scan synergy. Like, they feel like a scan synergy faction. Because I feel like when they made the scan action, they thought it was going to be cool, and then it found out the scan action kind of sucked, so they made a whole bunch of cards which are like, if you have a scan token, you can trigger it. So yeah, I think that this is a cool ability for the Romulans. So you boost this thing up to a 3 attack. If you're using the combat vessel variant, the ship costs 25 points. It'll be a 4/4, 3. Sorry, I keep reading that wrong, because I read hull and shield first for some reason. It will be a 3/1/4/3, then with this ability you can crank it up to a 4/1/4/3. I mean, sorry, 4/1/4/4 for 25 points, which, that is cool. So, Surak. I'm going to put this at... I feel like I can't rate this ship properly until I play it. But my preliminary ranking is going to be good ship, and I would play it, so that's a 4 out of 7. It might be a great ship, in my eyes, because I like Vulcans. But right now I'm going to put it at a good ship, and I'd play it. Those are nice stats. So that is for the class as a whole. Yeah, I'm gonna run. This is pretty average. Actually, I should keep into mind. It has 180 firing arc, no rear arc though, but 180 firing arc is pretty good. So yeah. For both of these, we're gonna say it's a 4 out of 7. So that is a good ship, and I'd play it for now, at least. All right, now this guy. I'm just gonna say right off the bat, he's a 7. Great card. No, sorry. I messed that up earlier when I said one of these cards was a 7. Actually, I don't think I gave any of these cards a 7. 7 is reserved for amazing. 6 is a great card. Okay, I'm just going to run you through it. 0 is a card that is literally detrimental to use. 1 is a bad card. 2 is okay card. 3 is a good card. 4 is a good card, I don't use it. 5 is a great card. 6 is a great card, I don't use it. And 7 is an absolutely amazing card. I don't know, because I haven't used this guy yet, I don't know whether he's a 7 or a 6. I'm going to say right now he's a 6 for now. And that is because of his named ability. Add 1 crew upgrade slot to your upgrade bar. That's okay, it's pretty cool. I mean, when you get a big collection, eventually you got a bunch of cards that can add crew, but I like that he gives, it's a crew ability and it gives you a crew slot. So whatever ship you put him on, you know you can use his ability. 4 points, 6 elite talent. That's nice. This is the cool part. Action. Choose one of your upgrades that was discarded from your ship on a previous round. Crew upgrades, I should say. And redeploy that crew upgrade to your ship and place an auxiliary power token beside your ship. There are not a lot of cards that let you get discards back potentially infinitely. I think the only other one I know of is McCoy from the Kelvin Timeline pack. Sure, you get an auxiliary power token, but do you know what you can do if you can get a discarded crew back? Discarded crew, there are discard crews that let you get other upgrades back. There is a discard Klingon which lets you get a weapon upgrade that you discarded back. So you can use Silpec to fire those discard weapons as many times as you like. It's going to take a while, because I think it disables the weapon when you discard the other guys. It's going to take 2 actions. It's going to take the action, you're going to have to fire the weapon. You're going to have to, on your next turn, discard that crew in order to get the weapon back, and I think it might be disabled. then you're going to need to use his action on the next turn to get that guy back. But that is big to me. There are so many cards in this game that are discards that are really amazing, and the reason they were made discards was because they were too amazing. Eventually they realized you can get cards back, so they started adding the remove from play. But as long as it's not a remove from play, you can get almost any card back. I'm still going to have to figure out a way to get tech back, because there's some cool tech discards I would like to be able to keep using. But if I can find a crew who can discard instead, then that would be pretty cool. Alright, running out of time on my camera here. Vulcan Commandos. I think I'll just quickly run over this one. It's got that annoying, if you are not cloaked, your shields disable, target a ship that's not cloaked, no active shields, range 1 to 2. It's that annoying thing. I'd never like that. Discard this card and any number of your other Vulcan Commando upgrades. For each one that you discard with this action, disable one upgrade of your choice on the target ship and gain +1 attack die. And it can only be purchased for Vulcans. I mean, I feel like Vulcans aren't too offensive, and this is a very offensive card. You can get up to +3 attack dice. So if you're running, just with this pack alone, you can beef this ship up to a 4, 5, 6, 7 attack while disabling your enemies. That, my friends, is a finishing move. Downside is I don't think you can get quality if you do that. You'll need another card that can get you battle stations. And with the captain we just reviewed, you can get the Vulcan Commandos back. One at a time, of course. And this pack gives you 3, which is great, because rule of 3. That's the max amount you can get anyway. Gotta really wrap up this video. So, these cards. I'm gonna say... because I don't have many options right now for the Vulcans, because I only have one pack, it's a 4, it's a good, and I would play it. If I had more packs, more variety, I feel like I might call it just a good card. I don't know whether I'd always run these, but because I only have one Vulcan ship, I'm probably going to always run those. Kuvak, he looks defensive. I love defensive cards. After you move, if you performed a evade action, you may place 2 evade tokens beside your ship instead of 1 if your ship is not in the forward firing arc of any ship. Okay, so I think Captain Ransom right now, he's a 4 skill 2 SP. This guy's a 4 skill 2 SP. Captain Ransom, you get that ability without the restriction of you having to not be in the forward firing arc of any enemy ship. Oh wait, no, sorry, Ransom's different. You don't get 2 extra tokens, you get 2 extra defense dice, which is cool. This seems fair then, because defense tokens are much better than defense dice, but at least if you're undergoing 1 or 2 attacks. So yeah, the restriction makes sense. The restriction's good. Would I play him? I like defensive ships. I would say, okay, Cardin, I'll play him. He's a 4. So far it looks like the majority of this pack is a 4. Oh, like good cards that I would play. Finally, we have Veles. He looks nasty. He's a 5 for 3 points. 1 point more for an elite talent slot. And an upgrade skill. What was the other guy? 6. That seems like a nice progression. We got 4, 5, 6. With only a 1 point difference between them. Action. Target a ship at range 1 to 2. Disable 1 crew upgrade of your choice on the target ship. He seems like he would be good to run with Vulcan Commandos, because he has sort of a similar ability. Disable 1 crew upgrade. And they disable crew upgrades. So it looks like this is like, I'm taking down your crew. I don't actually really like the disable 1 crews. So I'm going to put him at a 2, an okay card. Yeah, he's an okay card. Alright, is that everything? Yeah, okay. So that's the pack. I would give this pack, well, on average it appears that the cards tend to be okay cards that I would play. So because of that, I think I'm just going to give the whole pack as a total the rank of 4 out of 7. An okay pack that I would play. And I would actually probably play a lot, because I really like this ship. I say that the model itself makes the pack really cool. I feel like it should have been a bit more maneuverable, but I think that's going to be the end of the video. So yeah, my recommendation, pick up one of these. For no other reason at the end of the day than the fact that it comes with this beautiful combo reloader. Get all your old combos back. Alright. Have a good one.